Finding probabilities using combinations. This is Dakota Goebel. And how was your day? Good? Okay. Okay. Some of the vocab. Combination. A selection of objects in which order is not important. Now, some of the example of combination. Hold up, let me adjust the screen. Okay. In how many ways can a coach choose 3 swimmers from among 5 swimmers? Solution. There are 5 swimmers to be taken 3 at a time. 3. Get it? Okay. Combination. Here's an example of it and the solution. 6 friends want to play enough games of chess to be sure everyone plays everyone else. How many games will they have to play? Now that is the question right there that we have to answer. I'll let you think about it for a second. Let me cover up the answer. Okay. There are 6 players to be taken 2 at a time. That is the solution. So right there. Let's go to the next one. Formula for combinations. C, which is 6, comma 2. P, which is 6, comma 2. Same thing right there. Divided by 2 factorial, which is equal to 6 times 5 divided by 2 times 1, which that overall sums up to around 15. Total number, and then the C stands for the total number you're selecting from, and P is the amount of items being taken. Now the formula for the combinations. C, which is n, comma r, is equal to n factorial and divided by r factorial, which is n minus r factorial. Go down a little bit, and there's P, n comma r, which is equal to n factorial, which is divided by n minus r factorial. Factorial. Okay, what is a factorial? That is the question for this slide. A factorial is the product of an integer and and all integers before it. Examples of this. 5 factorial is equal to 5 factorial, 4 factorial, 3 factorial, 2 factorial, and 1, which that would sum up to be around 120. All that right there. Let's go down to the next one right here. 3 factorial, which would be equal to 3 factorial, 2 factorial, and 1, which would sum up to 6. Let's go down to the next one. 4 factorial is equal to 4 factorial, 3 factorial, 2 factorial, 1, which is equal to 24. Next one. Finding probability using combinations. Example of this is that suppose there are 3 people in a room. What is the probability that there is at least one shared birthday among these 3 people? Now that is the question for this slide. Let's give you a little bit of time to think about it without looking at this one. Okay, we're all good. There are a lot of ways there could be at least one shared birthday. Fortunately, there's an easier way. We ask ourselves, what is the alternative to having at least one shared birthday? In this case, the alternative is that there are no shared birthdays. In other words, the alternative to at least one is having none. In other words, since this is a complementary event, P is at least 1, which is equal to 1 minus P, which is none. That explains the whole thing up here when it talks about, in this case, the alternative is that there are no shared birthdays. In other words, alternative to at least one is having none. So that is what the alternative lesson right there is to finding the probability using combination. Now let's talk about the next one. Okay, finding probability, you divide the number of events by the number of possible outcomes. This will give us the probability of a single event occurring. So for this, in case of rolling a 3 on a die, the number of events is 1. There's only a single 3 on each die, and the number of outcomes is 6. That gives you a little example right there. Right there, that was an example. Here's a nice little picture for that, showing you what a die is. Probability formula. Probability formula is the ratio of number of favorable outcomes to the total number of possible outcomes. P, A, and B is equal to P, which is A, times P, which is B. That is the example of that. Now let's go back up to around here. So when we're talking about combination, the example, 6 friends want to play enough games of chess to be sure everyone plays everyone else. How many games will have to play? Solution, 6 players have to be taken 2 at a time. So, explaining that, the six friends want to play a game of chess. They have to do it 2 at a time. That's pretty much it explained. And let's go, so give you a little bit of time to look over these.